Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome to this complete guide on how to make your first 100k coins by trading in FIFA 14 Ultimate Team. So the main purpose of this guide is to give you all the best methods that I know of that can easily help you go from 0 to 100k in the quickest and best way possible. And I know it will apply to a lot of people because I've been in that position before, not having that many coins and struggling to trade. But hopefully this guide will help you out and give you a better idea of how to trade. And from then on, once you past that 100k mark, you can easily make as many coins as you want. So we're not going to waste any time, and we're going to get straight into this method and into this guide, should I say, and how it's going to work. So there's 4 different budget brackets. You can see them on the screen now, from 0 to 100k. You can see them. So yeah, I'm going to split it up into 4 different sections, I suppose, and in each section I'm going to be covering the best methods that I think best apply to each budget amount, and I'm going to be giving as much in-depth analysis, I suppose, of each method that I can think of. Give you some good points along the way, maybe even 1 or 2 bad points, so you are fully aware of how good this method actually is. And going to give you a few examples in the background as well for each method. Now, some methods may apply to more than 1 coin amount, and when I say this, I mean if you skip to some part of the video, and I might say a previously mentioned method may apply to this budget bracket as good as it did previously, and if that does happen, then I'm going to leave in the description all of the time points in this video where I explain each individual method. So I might explain one method at a certain point, and if you skip through and you've missed that explanation, then you can just click to that part of the video, watch the explanation so you've got a rough idea of how it works, and then you can go back to where you started, and then you can go from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is how it's going to work. It's really simple, and let's start without further ado. So the first budget amount we're going to be looking at is 0 to 10k, and the first method in particular is the silver bid method. Now this is a very good method to use, I suppose, and it's great because we're working with such cheap players and making a nice profit along the way. So you want to put your max price to 500 and quality to silver in your search filter, and then when you're searching, you want to look through all the pages and look for players who have good stats in comparison to their position. So for example, wingers, you want to be looking for great pace and dribbling. So I'd say 80 plus is a good stat to look at. I feel like their best stats, I suppose. And then once you found a player, you want to check their cheapest buy it now. So the best way to do that is going to ultimateteamtrading.net. Link will be in the description, don't worry about that. And then you just type in the player's name and just search him, and then the website will display his cheapest buy now at the minute, at this current time on the market. And then if that player is going for at least 100 coins cheaper than the next buy it now, then throw a bid on. And then once you throw a bid on, just move on. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for players. The idea is to just bid on as many players as you can in in the shortest time possible, hoping you'd win the players, because I'd say like 60 to 70% of the time you'd win the players that you just throw a bid on. And the idea is to just spend all your coins, and then once you just went a mass bid on all these players, you'll end up with a full transfer list full of players that you've bought within like 5 to 10 minutes. It really doesn't take that long, and you're making at least 100 coins on each player. Now there's a few points I just want to mention, as you can see on the screen, that definitely I should point out. So it's really simple and effortless. It's just a case of looking through, finding players, checking the cheapest buy now, throwing a bid on, and then repeating. We're working with really cheap players, like I said, so you're not only like able to buy 2 players and making 100 coins on each. You can easily buy like 4 to 5 players at the minimum and still make 400 to 500 coins. And like I said, decent profit amount considering the players that we're actually trading with. So the next method we're going to be looking at is the bronze method. Now this is personally one of my favourite methods to use when I have this particular coin amount, and it's really simple to do. It's quite similar to the silver bid method that we just covered. So you're going to put your quality to bronze, you want to put your minimum price to 300 coins to get rid of all those cheap non-rate players that we don't want to be trading with, that just clutter up the market, to be honest. And then you want to put your max price to how many coins you have. So whether it's 2,000 coins or 8,000 coins, just put it to that, because you don't want to be finding players that you can't really afford. So then it's basically the same technique as the silver bid method. Go through, look for players that have good stats that relate well to their current position, and I'd say 70 plus on a stat is definitely a player you should consider looking into and trying to win on a bid. So once you found a good player that you think you can make some decent coins on, go and check the cheapest buy now, like always, using ultimateteamtrading.net, or using the compare price function on the console if you can't access that website, and then basically just throw a bid on. Now there's 2 ways you can go about doing this. You can throw a bid on and move on if you're only looking to make around 100 to 200 coins, because you probably won't get outbid, because a lot of people don't look for bronze players to trade with and to play with. And if you do find a player that you can make 400 to 500 coins on, then definitely throw a bid on, and make sure you win that player. Stick around, look on your transfer targets, make sure you actually win them. you get outbid, maybe bid again, or maybe bid after that, just to make sure you can make at least, you know, a good amount of coins on them. Because the great thing about this method, which I prefer over the silver bid method, is like a lot of players don't actually want to outbid you because a lot of people don't trade with these players, so there's less competition. You can, you know, really just trade a lot and not get outbid like 90% of the time and make 400 to 500 coins on each player, and that is amazing profit considering how many coins we have. So the next method we're looking at is the silver method. Now this method does require you have at least 5k coins, I would say, but there is definitely more profit involved, so I would definitely consider you guys using it. So you're going to put your quality to silver, and then you want to put your minimum price to 1000 coins just to get rid of all those cheaper silver players that we can't really make that many coins off. And then you want to put your max price to how many coins you have, and then you want to search through the market and use the exact same technique of you know, looking through, finding players with an open bid on players in a good league, a good nationality, or a good team. And once you found a player, you want to check the cheapest buy now, like always as well, whether it's using ultimateteamtrading.net or using the compare price function on the console, whatever you guys prefer. And then you want to try and make at least 500 coins on each player, because we are trading with a lot more expensive players compared to the players we've been trading with. They're still quite cheap, but you know, we do have to spend quite a few more coins in comparison to the other methods. But there's a lot more profit potential. You know, you can make at least a K on some of these players, maybe even 2. From past experience, I've made, you know, at least a K on some of these players, maybe even 2, like I said, and I ain't lying, that is definitely the truth. And they're quite cheap players. They're not like, you know, 5k, 6k per player. You know, you are spending a reasonable amount on each player, and there's so many on the market. It's just that you can find deals every minute, and you can constantly look through the market, and you won't have to wait long at all to see if you find a deal. You're not like looking through, waiting for 5 to 10 minutes just to find a good deal. There's so many on the market, and there's so many going for a good price and a good deal that even if you get outbid on a lot of players, you will always find a deal and pick it up for a good price and make a lot of profit along the way. And that is going to be the last method for this budget amount. So the next coin amount that we're going to be looking at is the 10 to 25k budget amount. And the mentioned methods that really work well in this particular coin amount are silver and bronze method, which are covered in the 0 to 10k coin amount. And for any of you who have skipped the video to this part and don't know what I'm on about when I talk about silver and bronze method, then go look in the description and look at the exact time point of the video where I explain each individual method, so you get a rough idea of how they work and you can apply them to this coin amount. So other than that, guys, let's get straight onto the new methods that you might not have seen that you should definitely try out in this coin amount. So the next method that we're going to be looking at is the C.H.S method. Now this is a personal favourite of mine, and it might be a bit hard to understand at first, but hopefully my explanation will be good enough for you guys to grasp this amazing method that can make a ton of profit. So in terms of search filter, I'm going to put your quality to any and put your max price to 25k. Now the currency styles that we're going to be working with are Hunter, Catalyst and Shadow. So you want to pick any. We're going to be alternating between them anyway, so you're going to be using them all. But we're picking these in particular because they're worth at least 3k. And so when you apply these to certain players, no matter how much they're worth, whether it's 800 coins, 2k, whatever, you're going to increase their price by 2 to 3k, and that is pretty much how we're going to be making coins, should I say. So once you find a player on an open bid, that's usually a good indicator of a good price. You want to check their cheapest buy now in that exact chemistry style. So Marquisio, for example, on the screen, his cheapest buy now is usually like 800 coins or whatever, I'm not quite sure, in his normal card, but because with this chemistry style on, his price is like 3 to 4k, and as you can see, he's going for 2k, so he's going for a k less than his cheapest buy now, and that is pretty much it. You know, when you bid on players, you want to try and make at least a k on each of the players, and the main thing that why this works, I suppose, is that people misjudge how much players are worth once these chemistry styles are applied. So they might bid a k less, they might even bid 2k less than what they're actually worth. And maybe when you throw a bid on, people might be scared off thinking, oh, he's overpriced for the player who usually goes for 800 coins, when really, because he's got that Hunter on, or because he's got that Shadow on, or Catalyst on, or whatever, he's really worth like 2k more. And that is pretty much it, taking advantage of people's misjudgments. And there's always a great deal on the market as well, and that is pretty much why this method is so good, and you guys should definitely try it out. So the next method we're going to be covering in this coin amount is the rare contract method, and this is such a reliable, it's probably one of the easiest methods to understand, and it doesn't require that much explanation. But in terms of search, you want to put your quality to gold, and you want to put your max price to 250. Now once you search, you want to scroll all the way through, so it's best done on the console by the way. You want to scroll all the way through until you find that one rare contract, and then once you do that, press the X or the square button to compare price, and it will list up all of the contracts that are going for 250 coins or less. Now what you want to do is you want to bid 250 coins at max on each of these cards and try and spend all of your coins, because you're trying to make at least 80 coins. I think it's 80 coins if you sell them on for 350 coins each, which is what you plan to do. So buy them for 250 and then sell them on for 350, and that is pretty much it, to be honest. The only downside to it is you're not making that much profit, but depending on how many you buy is pretty much how much you're gonna make. 80 coins per card isn't really that much, but if you buy a lot, you can make like a K or two every hour, I suppose. So it's really for those who are a bit struggling to make coins, but it's definitely one of the most easiest and reliable methods to use. So the next coin amount that we're going to be looking at is going to be 25 to 50k, and hopefully you can start making a lot more profit from this point on. So the methods that you should definitely consider using that I've already mentioned are the C.H.S method, the silver method, and the rare contract method. But let's get into some more methods that you guys should definitely use once you've got around this amount of coins. So the next method that we're going to be looking at is the mass bid method, and this is a really simple, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know of this method. So basically you want to find one player that is very popular on Ultimate Team at the minute. I chose Benteke because I know a lot of people want Benteke in the team, and then what you want to do next is find the cheapest buy now of that player. So you want to look for what the cheapest buy now is, and in my case Benteke was around 1.7, 1.8k. Now the idea after that is to buy the exact same player, but buy the cards for at least 200 to maybe 100 coins less than his cheapest buy. Now less if you can, maybe if you can get it for 300 coins less, that is fantastic, but mainly I'd say 200 coins less than what his cheapest buy now is, and then you just got to mass bid, basically find all the cards that are going for 200 coins less than the cheapest buy now and bid on as many as you can, and hopefully you'll try and win at least half of the cards that you bid on, maybe even more, and then basically all you got to do then is just sell them on for how much he's actually worth. So these Bentekes, I tried to pick them up for around 1.5k and then tried to sell them up for around 1.7, 1.8k. It's really important that you do trade with popular players just to make sure they sell first time round. And yeah, other than that guys, that is pretty much it for this method. So the next method is the informed chemistry style method, and it's pretty much identical to the C.H.S method, which I explained earlier on in the video. It's just that we're just applying it to informs rather than just normal gold, and we can easily make quite a lot of more profit. So you want to pick chemistry style of either Shadow Hunter or Catalyst, put your quality to any, pick minimum price of 10k and max price of 25k, just to help us eliminate the players we don't want to be looking at and find the informs. Now once you find an inform, look for an inform on an open bid, then make sure you go and check his cheapest buy now in the exact chemistry style, and if you think you can make some coins on him, then just throw a bid on him. Now this is a really good method because it's quite unique, so there's little competition, not many people are going to be doing it, and there's quite a lot of good profit involved. Like in the example, I could easily make 3 to 4k on this player, but other than that, there's not much else to say about this method, and yeah, you should definitely try it out. So the final budget amount that we're going to be covering is 50 to 100k, and this is where you can really start making a lot of coins, so hopefully you will enjoy these methods that I'm going to give you. But the previously mentioned methods that you should definitely try out are the mass player bid method, because we can bid on a lot more players now that we have a lot more coins, the C.H.S method because it's just such a good and reliable method, and the rare contract method because again we can bid on a ton of contract cards in comparison to when we first covered it. But anyway guys, let's get straight into the final methods that I'm going to give you and trying to round off this entire guide. So the next method that we're going to be looking at is the gold inform method. Now this method is a personal favourite of mine, and it's such a good method to use, and you can make a lot of coins along the way. So in terms of search filter, you want to put your quality to gold, put your minimum price to around 10k, and your max price to how many coins you have. Now my personal twist, and I definitely recommend you doing this, instead of leaving your chemistry style as any, you want to go through each individual chemistry style that are on the market. So go through one chemistry style, go up to the 2-minute mark, find deals if you can, and then once you've done that, go on to the next one and keep going through every single one, picking up deals, add them to your transfer targets, and then, you know, checking the cheapest buy now of the players, and then if you can think you can make some decent coins on them, just throw a bid on them and try and win them. And that is pretty much it. That's my personal twist, and I think you guys should definitely use it. It's the best way to find deals. And the really good thing about informs is that there's a lot of less competition in terms of trying to bid on players and getting outbid, because to be honest, I couldn't tell you why there's a lot less competition, but there just is. And there's always a deal, you know, every minute or two you can always find a good deal, and there's also good profit involved. And then that is pretty much it. It's really simple to do, and I hope you guys make some good coins using this method. So the final method in this guide is the silver and bronze inform method, and it is probably my most favourite method to use on Ultimate Team. And it's really simple. So in terms of search filter, you want to put your quality to either silver or bronze, and put your minimum price to 10k and maximum price to how many coins you have. And it's pretty much the same technique as the gold inform method. So you're going to look for players with an open bid on them. Once you found one, go and check his cheapest buy it now, and if you can make at least 3 to 4k once you sell them on, then definitely throw a bid on and hope for the best. Now the best thing, and probably the most crucial thing about this method, which probably makes it one of the best ones out there, is that you can make at least 10k on some players if you manage to pick them up. Like, it's so good, because I've made in the past like 20k on some players, maybe like 10k at the least. And it's just the fact that a lot of people don't look for silver and bronze informs, especially bronze informs, and if you find a good deal you throw a bid on, you know, there's a lot less of a likely of a chance that you're going to get outbid in comparison to gold inform, which everyone wants to, you know, buy, make a team with, etc. So that, for that reason, and pretty much a lot of other reasons, that is probably why this method is the best method to use. And if you're making 10 to 20k at this stage of your coin trading career, I suppose, then that is definitely a bonus, and that is pretty much why I put it at the end. Save the best to last, and hope you guys enjoy using it. So guys, this is the end of this guide. It's been a long video now, and I appreciate anyone who stuck around from start to finish, and anyone who has watched in general. It's been I suppose it's been a very long video, and I did put a lot of hard work into it, and I appreciate anyone who's viewed it and anyone who has taken something hopefully useful away from it. And anyone out there who did watch this and thinks, you know, they want to try this out, you definitely try it out. You know, anyone out there can go from 0 to 100k coins, and eventually on from there to how many coins you want, using trading, using these methods that I've given you. And these aren't the only methods, I know that. These are just the personal methods that I think are the best. Hopefully my explanations were good enough. I tried to explain as much as I can in a decent amount of time. I didn't want this video to drag on for like 30 to 40 minutes, so I tried to cram as much in as I can and give you enough information, enough examples along the way. And yeah guys, if you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, should I say. I did put a lot of hard work into this video, and the support you guys have been giving me over the past months or so, whatever it is, it's really been amazing, and I've grown so much. And this guide is basically for you guys out there who always ask me, how do I make coins? And I just want to help you out as much as possible, because I can trade, but maybe a lot of you can't, and hopefully from this you can take something away from it and become as good of a trader as me in the near future. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you want to see, you know, trading videos like this in the future as well, trading series which are currently going on, trading tips, and if you want to see trading guides as well like this, then don't forget to leave a comment. And if you have any questions whatsoever, then don't forget to tweet me at Jordan1000. Twitter's on the screen now and in the link in the description. Leave a comment down below, you know, and any other way you want to contact me, then do let me know. But anyway guys, hope you did find this useful, and hopefully maybe you'll become a better trader than me in the future. So hope you did enjoy, and until next time, have a great Christmas for anyone who's watching this before Christmas, and peace.